Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. We're continuing on the series with the best SDS rotary hammers, and on this episode we're going to be talking about this bad boy right here. So if you've seen our previous episode of the D-handle style M18 FUEL SDS-plus rotary hammer, you know that tool did not stand up to the FUEL name, the FUEL product line, and all of that stuff, even though it is still actively sold today. So we've actually found this tool, which right here is the another FUEL model D-handle style SDS-plus rotary hammer, and this one right here is model number 2916-20. So this tool, just looking at it, you can tell is significantly bigger than the other FUEL model, right? So if you want to know more about this tool top to bottom and see if it stands up to the FUEL name, stick with us. This is the M18 FUEL 1 1/4 inch SDS Plus D-handle style rotary hammer with one key. This tool delivers on the drill speed normally associated with SDS Max rotary hammers. The hammer drill is faster, drilling 3/4 inch holes, and is lighter versus a 1 9/16 SDS Max rotary hammers. This tool features AUTOSTOP Control for enhanced safety and can drill up to 25 3/4 by 4 inch holes per charge when paired with a REDLITHIUM M18 high output XC 6.0 battery. This is the D-handle style design, which allows you to access tight spaces and provides superior balance. It is powered by the POWERSTATE Brushless Motor and delivers a roughly 3.6 foot-pounds of impact energy, 810 RPM, and 4650 BPM, which provides the power and speed for the most demanding applications. The kickback control auto stop prevents over rotation if the tool binds up, whether it's in rebar, concrete, hard aggregate, whatever it may be. This tool has a dedicated hammer vac, which you can get for this tool, which makes it OSHA Table One compliant. It has AVS, which is Anti-Vibration System, for maximum comfort and reduces vibration to the user. The cordless tool, this tool, which is compatible with one key to help track and manage inventory. And as all M18 FUEL tools have, it is the REDLINK Lithium Plus. Provides all that more power, more cooler, and all that kind of stuff, especially if you run it with the XC M18 high output batteries. If you're looking for the model number of the hammer vac, it is 2916-DE, and that one is designed for specifically this tool, and this tool is backed by Milwaukee's standard 5-year warranty. Alright, so this right here is the left-hand part of the tool, and as you can see, this tool is pretty big and massive for its D-handle style size. But let's go start off with the front part of the tool, okay? This right here is SDS Plus chuck. As you can see, it's a pretty standard chuck, and if you look and see, hey, this hole is pretty, not appropriate size for this tool. It's mainly because this tool is probably the size of an SDS Max, but it's using an SDS Plus chuck, okay? So it's pretty standard chuck, no issues. Insert twist lock, no problem. It's even got to tell you right here where you would pull back to release the chuck. But anyways, this right here is the metal ring, and this ring right here is metal, and it cinches down on this collar like all handles do, right? As you twist it, and it cinches down on this collar right here, keeping this handle pretty much almost infinitely adjustable to the exact position that you do need it, okay? As you can see right here on the handle, it will say Milwaukee right here, front and back, and right here, as it does on all Milwaukee, handles right here on SDS hammer drills. For some reason, they want to make sure they put it in 3 places. Also, if you've seen the video with our other FUEL model, you know that this on the other FUEL model is red, but on this it's actually black, and it's a lever style. So the depth rod system or gauge will go here when you need to use it, but it's pretty standard, no issues. Another thing that I do want to point out is that on this tool, you can see where the metal ring cinches down. There is a piece of plastic here to help prevent, I guess, the chafing or the damage caused by the metal ring on this metal gearbox collar thing here. So that will help provide longevity and a little bit more smoothness, because it's not going to be metal on metal, okay? So that's a nice detail they did put there. And you can see on this part, which is the left-hand part of the tool, this part here, even though you're probably going to say is metal, it's actually plastic. It's just the same color as the metal would be, but you know, it's going to say Milwaukee Fuel here and all the places, just so that you know you're using the fuel model. Okay, other stuff on the left hand side you can see right here is AVS, which is Anti-Vibration System. So it's got a little shock absorption system here that kind of twists, but interestingly enough, it only has it in one part, which as the other drop motor style fuel, you saw it at the top part here and on the bottom part here, which may or may not be realistic with this type of design, but I did want to point that out. Okay, the other thing you can see going up on here, this is one key. We're not going to talk about one key too much in detail, but you know, you can use an app to track it and all that kind of fun stuff, and also configure custom settings, right? These two dots right here that look like they would be LED diodes, they're actually just letting you know there's a metal insert here on the battery rail that helps stiffen it up and also provides it durability. You know that on the other episode, the previous episode, it did not have that. So usually I think Milwaukee's probably, you know, not say learning, but improving on their previous generations. Looks like they have started inserting this metal piece inside the battery rail on a lot of their newer fuel models. So that's probably something that they learned here, okay? Coming around to this side here, not sure how well it's gonna come across, but you can see it says fuel here and brushless here. It's got the auto stop here, and it's got the little icon that looks like a Wi-Fi icon, which means one key right here. And this icon looking thing right here is actually for, tells you when the auto stop has been activated. What that really means is when you're drilling and it binds up because, you know, let's say you hit rebar or you hit something that wasn't supposed to be there or whatnot, but let's just say it binds up and it twists, it will activate auto stop, cut the power to the tool so that, you know, minimizes damage or prevents damage to the user. The way that really works is, watch, you're spinning it like this, it's working, all right? You hit something. All right, look at that. The light blinks telling you it has been activated, preventing, as you can see. Look, no power to the tool and it stops spinning, okay? So that is a very nice feature to have, especially in a tool this powerful, okay? So did want to point that out. Also, it's a one finger trigger in case you didn't notice that already, and all this black stuff here is rubber over mode, as you would expect in a typical Milwaukee tool. And on the back side, you really have nothing else going on up in here, nothing too special, okay? So let's go around to the top part here, which you can select the three modes, and hammer drill mode, right? Hammer mode and drill mode. And just in case you forgot that you put an 18-volt battery on this tool, I'll tell you, M18. This lock here is pretty well adjustable, and the angle that I'm standing at is a little bit difficult, but this is hammer mode, and there's really no problem I've seen on this tool getting to all the different modes, and I've used the different modes pretty well enough. This one we use a lot for like scraping, which actually works really well. But this tool being so heavy at roughly about 9.2 pounds, you definitely want to use it drilling down if possible, and when you're doing like scraping, you're kind of at like almost like a 45 or 30-degree angle depending on whatever you're doing, right? So the tool being about 9.2 pounds actually helps with that. But I did want to point out this adjuster or selector mode has no issues like we've seen in some of the tools where it just won't go to some modes, right? So this tool, I think they have definitely figured that out from, you know, their previous generations and made this one much better, okay? Just in case we missed it, there is an LED light here that does activate. It is right here, right where the tool is, or the chuck is, which actually makes it way better because look how close it is to the surface that you're working on. They probably couldn't put it any more closer, right? And if you look on this side and you're wondering what is this rail here, this is exactly where the hammer vac would go, or the vacuum dust extraction attachment, where it would go when you had it on. But if you look at the picture of a dust extraction compact disc tool, you're pretty much going to be using an entire huge rectangle that is going to be somewhere close to 12 pounds, okay? So just imagine using that, or 12 pounds. You definitely do not want to be using that overhead unless you're just trying to get things done fast, which some people may do. But, you know, being 12 pounds with, let's say, the dust extraction and all of this other stuff going on, that's going to be a pretty hefty tool. So the question that really everybody really wants to know is, does this tool stand up to the fuel name? Let's go find out. All right, so those numbers went by fast. Let's go take a look at the recap of the performance, right? So we took this 2916 tool and paired it with a fully charged high output XC 8.0 battery, even though all the marketing material and specs like that was using an XC 6.0 high output battery. Remember, this is an XC 8.0, right? So on the first run, it went 12.63 seconds. Second run, 11.58. On the third run, 11.50. Taking an average of 3 runs comes in at 11.90 seconds, okay? And as we mentioned before, this is an SDS-plus class, and this tool has an impact force of 3.65 foot-pounds, right? And has a 4650 BPM and 810 RPM. The work done per minute is somewhere closer to 17,000, whatever metric we're using that for. And then this tool weighs a whopping 9.2 pounds, okay? And as we told you before, with the dust extraction models for these tools, the way that Milwaukee kind of does it is the model number then -DE. So the dust extractor for this tool is 2916-DE, all right? So where does that put this tool on the leaderboard? Let's go take a look, okay? So the total score, or an average score, let's just say, of 11.90, this tool is actually tied in, or really second place, but really tied for first place with the Milwaukee 2915-20, which is the drop motor style SDS-plus hammer, which had a score of 11.89, okay? So the leaderboard has changed. The Makita GRH07 or HR007 was actually pushed down from second place now to third place because the 2916 has taken that second place slot, all right? So if you want to take a look at the leaderboard or just sum up, you know, the first like few runners, right? It's the 2915, which we saw in episode 11, and then the 2916, which is this tool right here, and then the Makita GRH07 HR007, and then followed up by the Bosch GBH18V26, and the DCH273 by DeWalt comes in after that, okay? And if you're trying to figure out where does the previous D-handle style M18 FUEL model we tested in the previous episode, which was episode 12, that is still currently almost in last place, barely just beating out the Ryobi, right, which was 50.96. So if you're taking a look at this one versus the previous one, which was 27.23, this one is significantly faster and a huge upgrade over the previous model, which was 2713-20. So if you're looking at getting one, this is probably the one to get if you need that performance, okay? So let's go take a little bit of a closer look at the numbers, okay? And as I said earlier, it's pretty much tied for first place, and it pretty much is in first place. We're just gonna round it off to, you know, margin of error or something like that, right? So the 2915, which is the drop motor style FUEL, I believe, the total score, or the average score, was 11.89, and this one is 11.90. That's pretty much almost the same numbers right there, right? It has pretty much close to the same performance numbers, right? Impact force on the 2915 was 3.6. This one is 3.65. The BPM was 4600 on the 2915. This one is 4650. The 2915 also has 800 RPM, whereas this one has 810. So this tool has a little bit better specs than the 2915, which is the drop motor style, but also weighs just tool only about 0.3 pounds heavier, right? So for whatever reason, the tool performance is pretty much the same, but if you are gonna split hairs, this tool is in second place, okay? So what can we say about this tool? All right, so as you can tell, or if you didn't even see on numbers, even the grouping of the performance runs are still very close. And if not, for whatever reason, as we tell you in all the episodes, we run it with a cool battery or fully charged battery and runs cold off the start. So for whatever reason, it seems to get faster every run we do from there. And that's a thing that we've also seen on this tool. But this tool is a beast. That's what we can really say about this tool, right? Weighing at a tool only whopping 9.2 pounds. If you put the HammerVac on there and you put the battery on there, you're going to be probably closer to 12, 13, 14 pounds, depending on which battery you use, right? So that's a heavy tool, right, if you want to use it for that. But does it deliver on the performance of the fuel lineup? The answer to that question is a definite yes. So currently this tool is in second place on their leaderboard, and there is no doubt that this tool can probably get whatever job you need to get done if your tool bit or accessory uses SDS-plus, right? So going back to that, this tool is probably the size of almost a compact SDS Max hammer, right? And it has the numbers to back it up. Also, the impact force is about 3.6 or 3.65, right? And I know from experience that there are other SDS Max compact tools that are probably in the 4 foot-pounds of impact force. So this is really close and up there, right? So this is probably a good cross between or hybrid or whatnot, somewhere between the SDS-plus and the SDS Max. So if you don't want to get to the full SDS Max size, then this is probably the tool for you. Speaking of that, we did buy this tool, and would I go out and buy this tool again? The answer to that question is going to be a hard, you got to think about it, okay? If you need the tool, yes, I would go out and buy it again. But the reason I'm saying think about it is because this tool is close to half of $1,000, right? So that means this tool is about 500 bucks, right? For tool only. You add the dust extractor on there, that's going to be another couple $100, right? And you add a fully charged, 12 amp hour battery, whatever you want to put, you're going to be close to about a fully decked out system for about $1,000, right? So think about that. If you need it, then you need it and you got to get it, right? But would we go out and buy it again? If I needed it, yes. If I didn't need it, you got to think about it, right? So hopefully, like I said, this video helped you guys out. I'm here to tell you the numbers. So if you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, have a great day. Get back to work, and we'll see you guys next time.